Hey travelers, I'm Alicia from World Wanderers. After visiting over 50 countries, I've learned a thing or two about packing smart, and today I'm sharing my top travel hacks to help you pack stress-free. From luggage management and smart packing strategies to leak prevention, I've got you covered. Let's jump in and get your bags travel ready. Welcome to World Wanderers.
We're Alicia and Will.
Come wander the world with us. All right, before we dive in, just a quick heads up. I'll link anything I mentioned down in the description below in case you want to learn more or check something out. Also, to keep things simple, I divided all my packing hacks into clear categories, so it's easier to follow along and find exactly what you need. Let's kick things off with luggage management and organization, the foundation of stress-free packing that sets you up for success before you even zip your bag. First up, I do like to have this little luggage scale with me when I can, but if you don't have something like this, no worries. Airlines have been getting super strict with luggage weights, but you can do it with just a bathroom scale or a travel scale if you have one. Basically, you step on the scale with your luggage in your hand, see what your weight is, and then put your luggage down, step on the scale again, and see how much you weigh. Then you just subtract. So if I'm 200 pounds, holding my luggage and I'm 150 pounds without holding my luggage, I know my luggage is 50 pounds and I'm good to go. I like this travel scale because I just travel with this in general, so I can check it if I bought things while I'm out and about. But just checking it once before you leave is a good way to gauge if you're going to be okay at the airport or if you're going to have to take some things out and readjust into your carry-on. So I like these. Next up, I recommend trunk style luggage. This has been a huge game changer in my packing of checked bags over the past few years. Basically, trunk style luggage has one opening and one super deep pocket instead of the traditional clamshell hard luggage, which opens and takes up twice as much space. The difference here is that, especially in Europe and on cruises, hotel rooms are super tiny and often don't have a big footprint with lots of floor space. So if you have two different people who have brought checked luggage this size and have to lay them out flat, it basically takes up all of your walking space, or you have to kind of cram everything back in and close it up and put it away every time you're done using it. But with this, we find we can just keep it open and work out of it like a wardrobe. So this is similar to how the soft shell luggage used to be, but you get the benefit of the more durable hard shell luggage with the convenience of the one pocket. So this is the Hanky brand, which I'll link in the description. I really like this one. It's held up really well so far, but there's a bunch of different suitcases out there now that are this style. So basically, I just recommend trunk style luggage. Next up, in the same vein, if you have a carry-on bag or a personal item, I recommend a backpack with a roll top. You can see how tiny this backpack looks relatively with the roll top down, but basically a roll top is just like it sounds. It's a top that rolls and can be extended upwards. So basically you can get a bunch of extra space here by just rolling it up. So then you can cinch it down as well. So I find that if I put big bulky things like sweatshirts and blankets at the top, I get tons more space because then I'll cinch it down and it basically compresses everything. It's easy to get into, but if you're looking through it like it's a big cavernous black hole, then I recommend the Wandered version, which opens in the back like a clamshell as well. This backpack, me and my husband both have one. It's what we use for our carry-on, but it's got a lot of really great features and good pockets. But the zippered back opening combined with the roll top is the perfect solution for a carry-on, in my opinion. Plus, if the gate agents are super strict about dimensions, it's really easy to just take some things out and cinch it down, and then it looks like a normal sized backpack. Or if they're not being picky, you can have a humongous backpack. So I really like this. Next up is these we got around Christmas time. My husband and I both have two each, and it's a shoe bag. In general, I always recommend putting your shoes into some kind of plastic bag even, or something to separate it from all your clean clothes. But I found this is the perfect solution. Basically, it's a packing cube for your shoes. Inside, it has a separator so you can put one pair of shoes flat and then another pair of shoes on top of it, or even separate between heels if you don't want them to touch each other. And then you can fit a pair of flip-flops or slides here, and then another pair of shoes in the front pocket, which is completely separate and mesh here. So basically, I find that not only does it keep my stuff from being not from getting dirty from the grime that's all over my shoes, but I find that it's a very compact and organizes my suitcase. So I have 2 of these, which is all I would ever need for any trip because I can fit 4 pair of shoes in this. My husband can fit like 2.5, depends what your shoe size is. I'm a size 8.5 women's. He's a size 13 men's. So it works for basically most shoe sizes, but I find that this has been really convenient and it's really easy to kind of put in my trunk style luggage like a puzzle. So I really like these shoe bags. Next up is going to be compression packing cubes. So you can buy any brand of packing cubes out there. There's a million, but the key feature you need to look for is that they have compression. What that means is you've got your normal zipper that unzips it at the top, but then there's an additional zipper that cinches everything down. So as you can see, there's like sizes that work with clothing and then there's sizes that work with accessories. I even have smaller ones that work with like socks or bras or underwear. But basically you just fold all your clothes into this. I like to lay all the clothes flat and then just fold everything in on itself until it fits into the packing cube. And then you zip it up normally. And then once it's bulging with everything you have in here, then you just basically stick your finger in the second zipper and then slide it along so that it compresses everything down. It's kind of like a corset. It sucks everything in. Just make sure to not overfill it or else it'll bulge up in the center. But I found that I can fit about 1/3 more clothes with these packing cubes compared to normal packing cubes. Plus, I really just like that it keeps stuff organized and you know exactly where everything is in your bag. You know, like, oh, if I'm looking for socks, it's in the small packing cube. I recommend getting more than one color so you're not like fishing around. So if you know that, oh, my socks are in my red packing cube and my pants are in my purple packing cube, that's helpful to me too. So definitely recommend compression packing cubes. In the same vein, if you have any bulky items or are traveling long term, I absolutely recommend vacuum bags. Basically, they come in all sorts of sizes and they don't need a vacuum. It's just compression comes from rolling it up. So I put like a twin size fleece blanket in here that you would use as like a bedspread, and it condenses it down to a very small thing. You're gonna basically fill everything in here from the top, zip it closed, it has a double zipper, and then you're just gonna roll it up and all the air comes out the other side. Then you have a very small, comparatively sized thing to pack than you did if you would have all your clothes non-compressed. So this is kind of inconvenient if you're going to be in and out of your bag all the time, but if you're traveling long term with like sweaters that you're probably not going to wear until a later part of your trip, or if it's the only way you can bring like bedding that you want to bring, for example, this is a good option. So I really like vacuum bags. Now that your luggage is organized, let's move on to smart packing strategies that help you maximize space and keep your belongings in perfect shape throughout your trip. First up is going to be a capsule wardrobe. Since I stopped packing individual outfits and started packing a capsule wardrobe, I find that I'm able to travel lighter and also that I do less laundry on my trips. If you don't know what a capsule wardrobe is, it's basically picking a smaller color scheme and taking your big, large closet with tons of different things in it down to just a few key items. So if I pick items for shirts and jackets and sweatshirts that go with every single bottom I pack, like shorts or jeans or pants or whatever, midway through that trip, once I've used the things that I like the most, I still have other outfits left that I can put together without having to do extra laundry. It also stops me from having a bunch of extra stuff that I didn't wear on my trip. So I really like that. I just pick one bright color or two bright colors and then some neutrals like navy or beige or khaki, and then it's easy. Everything goes together and I have something basically for any occasion. Next up, if you're checking bags and traveling with another person, I like to trade a few outfits between us. So like I'll give half of my clothes to my husband and he'll give half of his clothes and shoes to me. And then basically, instead of having two bags, his and hers, we have two bags that are half and half. This has saved us numerous times when one of our bags was delayed or lost. We didn't have to go out and waste our first day shopping for things until the airline could get our bags to us, if that even eventually happened. So basically, having clothes that you know are going to be available the night you get into your hotel and just have something clean to put on after that long, grimy airport day has really been crucial for us. So we always do this now. Next up, speaking of lost luggage or delayed luggage, make sure to take a photo or video of the contents of your checked bag. This will be helpful, one, in case of an insurance claim. I've seen multiple stories of people who have not gotten the full value of even just their luggage, let alone everything in their luggage. But it gives you a way to itemize everything in your luggage and know exactly what you need to rebuy and how much it costs. So if you have travel insurance, this helps with travel insurance claims, or even if you're just blaming it on the airline or carrier, they'll be able to reimburse you easier if you have video or photo proof. Next up, I also recommend having a second set of electronics and toiletries just for travel. Since I started keeping all of these things packed and ready to go, I've forgotten way less things. Next up, let's tackle leak prevention and protection, because nothing ruins a trip faster than spilled toiletries or damaged clothes. My first hack is to put a balloon over a bottle in order to make it leak proof. Basically, you can get like silicone covers, but this is essentially free if you have balloons laying around, and they work really well. I recommend blowing it up first so it's easier to get over it. But basically, you can just use a regular balloon and then put it over the top of your bottle. And even if the air pressure from a plane like cargo holds will make it explode or leak out, this will just get stuck in the balloon and it won't get all over your clothes. So that's one thing I've started doing recently. Next is, if you've watched any of my toiletry video, which I'll link here in case you're interested, you know I'm obsessed with bar shampoo and bar conditioner. I've switched over almost everything I can to solids because it just takes up so much less space in your luggage. But having a shampoo bar like this will last me for at least a month, which is so much less space than the liquid equivalent that I would need for that amount of time. So I have these Matador soap bags as well, which I really like because they have dry-through technology in them, which allow the shampoo bar to basically evaporate all the water that's on it, and they don't get gummy that way. So it takes up very little space in my toiletry bag, and I find this brand of shampoo and conditioner, which I'll link below, to be just as great as normal liquid stuff. So I really like that. And then also, a viewer actually from a previous video turned me on to this, but this crystal deodorant is also a solid instead of a gel or like roll on or liquid, and it's lasted me forever. It's kind of like a rock where you run it under water and then you would just put it under your arms, and I really love it. This is completely unscented, and I can't even feel when it's on. It has no residue. It doesn't get on my clothes. It's a mineral deodorant stick. I'd never heard of this before, so check this out if you're looking for something a little different as well. And then if you've watched my other videos, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of a dry bag. I pack a dry bag all the time for various things like doing laundry, which if you caught my how to do laundry video with a dry bag, I'll link that here as well. But for packing, I love it because if you're going swimming at the end of your trip or like the second to last day, there's nothing worse than packing a wet swimsuit or dirty, sweaty clothes that are going to get everything else in your luggage wet or moldy, especially if you have clothing that doesn't need to be washed or you're going to a second destination later. So I always pack a dry bag so I can put the dirty or wet stuff in it and then pack this in my luggage, and it doesn't contaminate everything else in my luggage. So definitely recommend. They're super cheap. You can buy them in a variety of sizes on Amazon or wherever, and this has saved me multiple times. All right, before we finish up, here's a little bonus tip that I found super helpful. If you find yourself with extra space and extra available weight in your checked luggage, consider packing some drinks like sodas or juices or whatever. This way, if you don't have time to stop for refreshments on your first night, you'll avoid those outrageous minibar prices. I've definitely broken down in the middle of the night when I've been so thirsty and bought $7 sodas a few times. And after that, I was like, never again, I'm gonna be prepared. So basically, you'll have something even if you don't have time to stop at a grocery store or all the convenience stores are closed for the night already. Plus, This leaves room on your return trip for souvenirs or anything else that you might have bought while on your travels that are going to take up space as well, because once you consume them, they'll be gone. But just make sure to seal your drinks in a Ziploc bag to protect against any leaks or unexpected spills, or make sure to put them in the dry bag. Thanks so much for watching. I hope these packing hacks help make your next trip easier and more enjoyable. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more travel tips and tricks. I'll also link my favorite travel hacks for 2025 right here in case you want to check out that video next. And if you have any packing tips of your own, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Safe travels and see you in the next video.